SBK episode 31. Everybody lock in, hit that like button for your boy, and let's get into this episode this week. This week we talking about a few different things that was in the news cycle. I just went over it. Number one, I'm gonna get this out of the way because I was annoyed by it, aggravated by it. J. Cole. This nigga J. Cole. So if y'all been under a rock and y'all don't know the whole rap beef that been going on for the last goddamn 6 months or so, J. Cole, Drake, Kendrick Lamar. I'm going to give a quick rundown and then I'm going to give you to where we at now with the shit. Drake and J. Cole dropped a song, and in the song, J. Cole had a line about the big three. K-Dot, he talking about K-Dot, Kendrick, and Drake. After that, Future and Metro Boomin dropped the tape, and K-Dot had a feature on there, and he went at Drake and J. Cole neck, saying ain't no big three, it's just Big Him. Follow that. A lot of back and forth. Follow that. Drake dropped the track. J. Cole eventually dropped the track, going at Kendrick neck, but then he apologized. He took stage. J. Cole dropped the diss. It was subpar. He got on stage at a concert and said he wished he hadn't dropped the diss song. He didn't really mean it. It wasn't in his heart. And he was bowing out of that whole battle. He didn't want to have no parts in it because he was friends with Drake. He was friends with K-Dot, and he didn't want to be involved in none of that. He dropped his diss just strictly off his partners and the people wanting him to respond to what Kendrick had said, but his heart wasn't in it and he didn't really feel like doing it. Okay, after that, Kendrick and Drake, they just went to fucking firing off at each other. I don't even know how many diss tracks was dropped, but it ultimately led up to the number one that we all know now, the They Not Like Us, and it ultimately ended the whole feud. That was it. Drake bowed out after that. That was the end of it. That was months ago. This nigga J. Cole just dropped a verse. And in this verse, he took it upon himself again to let everybody know that he didn't bow out of the battle. He didn't lose. He wouldn't have lost the battle. He would have lost a friend. So he didn't want to participate in the battle. He didn't want to participate in the rap beef because it was bigger than that and he was going to lose a friend. J. Cole, shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. First of all, nigga, you ain't saying nothing new. You already told us this. You already said you ain't want battle a nigga because that was your friend in real life and all that shit. We already heard that. You already took center stage and told a nigga that. Okay, nigga, this is months later. Why are you still talking about this? Nobody don't care no more. Nobody don't care about you no more. Nobody don't care that you back down. And see, the whole problem with this nigga backing down about this being his friend, first of all, I go ahead next say respect his mind. King Bill say Cole been whack. Listen, the thing about him backing down and keep saying he didn't want to lose a friend, nigga, Kendrick didn't care nothing about losing you as a friend. Kendrick said what he said, dropped what he dropped, did what he did. Wasn't his first time, and he didn't care nothing about losing you as a friend. Nigga, this is rap. This is a fucking contact sport. Fuck friends. What us being friends got to do with us rapping right now? He ain't care nothing about losing you as a friend. So why is you so fucking hell-bent on keeping this man as a friend? You don't want to say nothing. You don't want to participate in a rap battle because that's your friend and you don't want to lose a friend. But your friend ain't care nothing about losing you as a friend. Nigga shot at you a few times. I go ahead next say you forgot the part where Schoolboy Q told Cole, don't get involved. Nigga, so what? Can't nobody tell me what not to do. You think somebody could tell Kendrick not to get involved? He was already involved. He already shot at this nigga. Another problem I have with J. Cole with this whole, I would have lost my friend. I wasn't ducking the smoke. Nigga, every song that you own, you bragging about how your pen is the best, how nobody could see you, how you a better rapper than everybody. I don't even listen to this nigga, but the few songs and the few features and the few shits I done heard, that's all this nigga talk about. I'm telling you, you can pull up a song right now and he gonna be telling you how can't nobody fuck with him. But then the minute a nigga come at you, telling you he could fuck with you and fuck over you, you don't want no parts of it because you gonna lose a friend? That's crazy, my nigga. Your whole fucking catalog, your whole persona is you the best. That's all J. Cole fans want to tell you. It's how cold he is. How he went platinum with no features. How nobody came see him. How Drake don't want to see him. How K-Dot don't want to see him. And he tell you that too in all his music. This nigga tell you how cold he is and nobody can't see him. He the best. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Ain't nobody, you not gonna tell me he don't say that. And then a minute one of the top dogs come at your neck and you ain't have a real, see, that's the whole problem. He ain't have a real response. You know why? He a fan. He a fan of Kendrick Lamar. And he know that nigga top dog. So he really didn't have a response. The response that he threw out there was whack. It wasn't creative. It wasn't disrespectful enough. So he threw that shit out there and everybody who received it and heard it wasn't feeling it. So he had to back down after that. But nigga, that's because you not creative as an artist. Nigga not creative. You listen to this nigga, nothing creative about this nigga. What he be talking about? The nigga is boring. If you didn't see, but a nigga get in a rap beef and think you just automatically gotta tear down the other nigga and shoot at the other nigga. Nah, nigga, if you the best, then you should have dropped the song just saying how you the best and nobody can't fuck with you. You should have just dropped the song with all of your accolades, where you came from, how fast you came up, how long it took the next nigga to come up. But all you can think about is trying to diss a nigga and you ain't got nothing to diss a nigga with because you a fan of the nigga. He a fan of Kendrick Lamar, so he ain't had nothing to say. So he had to back out of that shit. And now he keep telling all of us how he's such friends with this nigga. Meanwhile, Kendrick don't care nothing about being friends with you, nigga. Nigga, take your head off. Nigga, this rap. This is a competitive sport. That's like telling a nigga you don't want to play one-on-one because you his friend. You don't want to dunk on a nigga because you his friend. That nigga is lame, corny, and y'all keep letting these half-breeds in the culture. And that's what happened when you let these half-breeds in the culture. They ain't really built for this shit. Shout out to Drake because he stood 10 toes down and went back and forth with K-Dot. This nigga Cole, he been corny. Ben ain't like the nigga. Yeah, he could rap. Yeah, he could rhyme words together. But I ain't never fuck with no nigga who wasn't a street nigga in music. I fuck with street niggas music. I'm a street nigga. I come from the streets. I dealt with street niggas. I know street niggas. I'm familiar with that. All of these corny niggas, these backpack type niggas I wasn't listening to these niggas. Yeah, they could rap. Yeah, you could rhyme words. You could put some bars together, but I'm not feeling your shit. You ain't no street nigga. And it came to fruition that you is what you are. When it came down for smoke, when it came down for drama, when it came down for getting your hands dirty, you ain't want no part of that. And that's all I got to say about that Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole shit. J. Cole, shut up. Just shut up. Nigga don't care. Shut your light-skinned, nappy-head ass up. Nigga do not care. Moving on. Next topic of discussion. I don't know how many of y'all saw this. I'm going to read this. I don't want to mess it up. So I'm going to read this, and then we're going to get into exactly what happened with this situation. Because it's a wild situation, and I want to know what people expect you to do in these type of situations. So if you don't know, if y'all didn't see, it was a dad who found his 14-year-old daughter who had been kidnapped. She had been missing. He found his 14-year-old daughter with a 67-year-old man in a vehicle with a 67-year-old man. He ended up killing the 67-year-old man. He got arrested for murder. First-degree murder. Now, I'm going to read the background to y'all, give you a little insight on it. So he was 36-year-old Aaron Spencer reported his 14-year-old daughter missing on Tuesday. Deputies was on their way to his house to gather more information when they received a call that Spencer found his daughter. She was in a vehicle with a 67-year-old man. Reports revealed that the 67-year-old man had been stalking his daughter before allegedly raping her. The deceit, he was a boyfriend of a family friend. The 67-year-old man was a boyfriend of the family friend. The Spencer family initially reported to the police, and he was given a no contact order with the 14-year-old. What type of shit is that? I report you, this nigga stalking my child, and the best you could do is give him a no contact order, whatever the fuck a no contact order is anyway. But when he didn't stop, Spencer took matters into his own hands. There was a confrontation. The two men got into it, and Spencer fatally shot the 67-year-old man. And they charged him with first-degree murder. First of all, fuck the police, fuck the whole system, because they never look out for these children. They never look out for people who really in need of help. If I'm telling you if I call you and tell you my 14-year-old child is being harassed or stalked by a grown man, I don't care how old he is, or by anybody for that matter, I need you to do a little bit more than a no contact clause. There's got to be a better way. If I could show you proof that this is happening and this going on and this was been taking place, I need you to do something more than a fucking no contact clause. Because then if I take shit into my own hands, now I'm the problem. And now I'm going to jail. I don't think nobody in their right mind, if he go to trial in front of a jury, yeah, he guilty. Yeah, he killed a man. But can you blame him? What the fuck was he supposed to do in that situation where he find his 14-year-old daughter who been kidnapped by somebody? Are we forgetting the whole kidnapping part? We forgetting the kidnapping part. Was he supposed to just go there and ask for her back? Can I please have my daughter back? What the fuck is wrong with the fucking judicial system? What was he supposed to do? Was he supposed to go unarmed in a hostile situation where his child has been kidnapped? And y'all charge him with first-degree murder? And you know the circumstances around this? I just don't get America sometimes. I just don't get the judicial system sometimes. Most of the time. Shit is a joke. You been stalking my baby. I done told y'all he's stalking my baby. And now he end up dead when I find him after I done reported her missing. And you gonna take me to jail? I would have felt better about the situation if he would have got charged further down the line. After you would have found out some context or something he did wrong or this was premeditated, if you would have found that out down the line. But just to initially arrest the man and charge him with first-degree murder, that's some bullshit. And I think about how I would be in that situation with I got two daughters. And see, I know everybody would crash out. But I got to sit back and think, too, if I crash out and these people slam me and charge me with first-degree murder and sentence me to years in jail, then I'm leaving my daughters with nobody. Or without a daddy, should I say. So it's a hard fucking pill to swallow. Like, you got to pick your poison. You going to either handle this nigga or you got to let the system handle this nigga so you could be there to raise your children. Most people not thinking about that in that instance. But you got to think about it. And I don't know what's the choice to make. Snoop normally be knowing, but in that situation, I don't know what the choice to make. And I know everybody be like, yeah, I'm killing that motherfucker. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm with you. I'm not going to disagree with you on that. But now you got to think, who going to help raise your children? Who going to protect your children in the future if a situation like this happen again? You supposed to be there. So what you going to do? That's a tough situation. That's a tough situation. And I don't know. I can't tell nobody what's right or wrong. And if people don't do nothing, I feel like outside noise is going to be like, oh, he crazy. Could never be me. I'd have been going to jail. I'd have been. Yeah, you would have. And you stood on business, and I respect that and I understand that. But now who going to raise your daughter? Who going to be there for your daughter? You got to think about all this shit. You can't just crash out all the time. Leave that to the YNs. Leave the crashing out to the YNs. We too, as an adult, as a 30-plus-year-old, you got to think before you crash out. You ain't no YN no more. You heard me? Leave that to them little niggas, man. Let them little niggas crash out and don't think twice about nothing. We got to think. Next topic of discussion. When I started this podcast, I was saying, when I start a podcast, if I do it, I'm not going to jump into the average shit that all of these podcasts be doing. And that's typically the man versus woman shit, the splitting bills topic that's been going on for the last 15, 20 years, seem like 50-50. Who paying the rent? Who paying the mortgage? Women say they not. I said I wasn't going to get into that. Because that's all these podcasts were showing. That's all they was doing. That's what the clickbait was. But it ain't stopping. And I can't keep running from it. It's in our face. I got something to say about it. And I can't just keep not saying nothing about it because everybody else saying something about it. So, saying all that, Angel Reese, if y'all don't know who Angel Reese is, WNBA player, played for LSU basketball women's team. She got a podcast. And on her platform, she had Travis Kelce, who's a tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs, who now dates Taylor Swift. Angel Reese had his ex on her podcast. And she was discussing the rumors of saying that they broke up because he wanted her to pay 50-50. Now, he a multi-millionaire. They was in a relationship for a bunch of years. And they broke up after a while. Nobody really knew why. And she was asking, one of the rumors was because he wanted her to go 50-50. So she asked his ex this question on her platform. Her response pissed me off. Whether you 50-50, whether you on the 50-50 side or not, whether you want your man to pay all your bills or whether you down to do 50-50, it don't even matter. Her response was so fucking arrogant that it pissed me off. So when she asked the question, I don't even know the girl's name. I wouldn't even say her name if I knew it, because how nasty she was. When Angel asked her about the 50-50 situation, her response was, do I look like somebody who split anything? Do I look like somebody who split anything? And she was laughing and she was insulted by the question that she would be splitting bills or going 50-50. First of all, bitch, what it look like to not split bills? What it look like to be taken care of? What that look like? Do you look like? What do you look like? Let me tell you what you don't look like. You don't look like you cook. You don't look like you clean. You don't look like he could come to you for no knowledge or advice. So what do you look like? Do you look like you split anything? What do you look like besides an Instagram thotty? What else you look like? You don't cook, you don't clean, you can't help me with nothing. You don't have a job, you don't have no career. So what do you look like? Do you look like you split bills? You look like you paying 100% not by yourself. You lost one of the greatest tight ends that the NFL has ever seen. And you sitting up there on the stage talking about, do you look like you split anything? If that man wanted you to split something, you should split it. Who are you to him? His stature in society versus your stature in society. And you sitting there talking about, do you look like you split anything? And that's the mind state with a lot of these women who think they look so good. They got their body done. They got their teeth done. They keep their hair up. And they think that means they don't have to put in on no bills. That's the man job. What's your job? If that's the man job, okay, cool. So what's your job? Are you taking care of him? You cooking for this man? You washing his clothes? Are you taking somewhere to get his clothes washed? Can he come to you for advice? Do you have a career? What make you think you ain't supposed to pay no bills? What What grown adult in society don't have to pay no bills? And if you with a man that allow that and allow you to have that luxury, it's a luxury. It's a privilege. It ain't a right. It ain't for you to be sitting around talking about, do I look like I pay half? Do I look like I put in on anything? Why would I want to be with you if you don't want to put in on nothing? You don't want to help me with nothing? What I'm with you for? Whether I got it or not, even if I got it, what do you mean, do you look like you put in on anything? Nah, you look like a single motherfucker right now who put in on everything by herself. I had a comment. I posted it on the Instagram page, and I had a comment. I'm going to read it to y'all right now. So the comment said, this goes both ways. Nobody want to go 50-50 with a man who exhibits cheating, going out, doing what they want to do 24/7. Typical thought male behavior. You're going to be doing all that, then pay all the damn bills. However, I'd be more than happy to go 50-50 with someone equally yoked in all aspects. So I agree with that. I agree with the comment that was left on my Instagram page. They DM'd me. I agree with that. But what I still take issue with, you saying nobody want to go 50-50 with a man who exhibits cheating, going out, doing what they want to do 24/7. I'm trying to figure out where we got to where 50-50 is like a compromise. Like you saying that, like, if I'm gonna do 50-50, yada, 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 yada. When did that become a compromising thing? Well, otherwise you could be by yourself and pay everything by yourself. I'm trying to figure out, when did it become a thing where you get with a person and you just think you don't have to pay nothing. They gonna pay everything, regardless however they acting later on down the line. What make you say, I'm not gonna pay nothing? I'm not gonna go half. I'm not gonna put in. I'm not gonna. So I agree with her comment, but it's still a wild thing, because women really have this mindset nowadays that the man's supposed to pay everything. And if you got a good man, and if you got a man that's like actually able, not killing himself to do it. If you got a man that's got a great job, making great money, able to support himself and you all on his salary and kids or whatever else y'all got going on, and he decided to do that, that's cool, that's great. But if you got a normal, everyday working man, 9-to-5 man who making a decent living, but in order for him to take care of him and cover all of your bills too, he killing himself to do. He waking up on days off to go do overtime. He staying late. He got a second job, whatever the case may be. If he doing that just so you don't have to split, that's crazy. That's insane. And there's no way you possibly love this man. There's no way you could possibly love somebody and watch them kill themselves every day just so you ain't got to pay no bills as a grown adult. Who does that? How can you go to bed with somebody? How can you live in a house with somebody and watch them killing themselves, working themselves to death just so you don't have to pay bills? And then you think that's some type of badge of honor. You think that's some type of flex for you to say, I don't pay no mortgage. That's what I got a man for. Or if he ain't paying my mortgage, I don't need a roommate. That ain't nothing but a roommate if we splitting bills. What are you talking about? Have you been outside? Have you been in the real world? Have you seen the cost of rent? Have you seen the cost of mortgage? Have you seen the cost of groceries, card notes, car insurance? Have you seen this shit? What kind of man you got and what kind of job he got where you think he could just live a good life and take care of himself and you off of his salary while you just do whatever you want with your money? How is that love? How is that your partner? How is that somebody you want to be with, care about, look after, and you letting him fucking have a stroke? Nigga gonna stroke out trying to take care of y'all to be a man, quote unquote, to be a man, a real man. Imperfect Sunshine says it's not a team. Exactly. I thought if we together, we supposed to do this together. Otherwise, we doing it. If I'm doing it all by myself, we not doing it together. We ain't building together. Now, unless you taking all of your money and putting it to the side for one day y'all to go buy a building or buy a bigger house or to invest in something, if your money is allocated for that and he making that sacrifice so that y'all can do that together later on, cool. But this whole 50-50 thing is ridiculous. That's why I never wanted to get into this 50-50 discussion on my platform, because it's stupid. To each his own. In actuality, it's to whatever works for you and your household. But if you sitting watching somebody kill themselves just so they could take care of you as an adult, you ain't shit. I don't care how good you look. I don't care how big your titties is. I don't care how small your waist is. I don't care how fat your ass is. If you watching a man go to work every day, struggle, deal with bullshit on the job, pick up a second job, working overtime, picking up shifts, all that so you don't have to pay mortgage, so you don't have to pay rent, so you ain't paying a light bill, so you ain't paying that's insane. That ain't love. That ain't your real partner. That's an opportunity. So either you with this man because you love him, or you with him because it's a good opportunity for you. And I see a lot of relationships. I got a lot of associates, and I look at these circumstances, and it's just a good opportunity for them. They don't really love the person they with. They don't really like the person they with, but it's a good opportunity. They ain't got to pay all the bills. Or they know this girl not out here in the streets. They might not even love this girl. They don't want to be with her, but they know she trustworthy, so they going to be with her. Or you know this man a good man. He going to take care of you. You ain't got to worry about him playing in your face, but you don't even like him like that. You ain't even in love with him, but you just know he's a good man. He a good man for somebody. Even though he ain't your type, he ain't what you want. You don't like him like that, but you going to lead this relationship on because it's comfortable for you and it's a good opportunity for you. And that's the same thing with the 50-50 shit. There's no way you have a problem with helping support the household. Not helping, it ain't supporting your man. It ain't if he a man, what I got to give him money for. It's supporting the household. It's elevating the household. Y'all must be crazy. You got to be crazy to sit around talking about, this lady said what she do, she look like she split anything. And I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck that look like. I'm trying to figure out what it look like. I know she ain't got no degrees. I know she ain't got no career. I know she ain't taking care of the house. So what do you look like, baby? What you look like? You look like when I scroll on the popular page on Instagram, the Explore page, that's what you look like. You look like every picture that's on that page when I'm scrolling through that search bar and all these chicks pictures pop up, that's what you look like. So if you want to know what you look like, that's what you look like. Do they split bills? I don't know. I like to know where she living now. I like to know what type of house she got now. I like to know what type of job or career, what money-making situation she in right now. That's crazy. Fellas, y'all got to stop falling for that. Ladies, I need y'all to stop throwing that out there, man. If you get a man that make good money and able to pay the rent, the mortgage, the lights, the gas, the car insurance, the car note, kids' tuition, clothes, if he able to do all that and he decide that's what he want to do, appreciate that. Love that about that nigga, that he willing to do that. Don't walk around like your shit don't stink. Don't walk around talking about you ain't got to pay nothing, because when he decide that he don't need you no more, guess what you gonna have to pay? Everything. By yourself. Solo. Don't be crazy, man. Don't be crazy, man. This was SBK episode 31. I just wanted to hop on right quick. I missed last week. They had a few news cycles that went by that I wanted to touch up on. J. Cole, shut up. Stop telling us about you wanted to be friends with Kendrick Lamar, because he don't care about being friends with you. That was one topic. Man who caught his daughter being kidnapped by somebody and killed him, and they gave him a first-degree murder charge. Fuck the justice system. Do what you got to do in that situation. And to the girl who said, do I look like I split anything? No, bitch, you look like you split everything by yourself. SBK episode 31. This was a quick one, in and out. I'm gonna figure this schedule out. We normally go Mondays at 8, but Monday Night Football, I don't know. It's been hectic trying to balance that out. But we're gonna figure it out. I'll be posting. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube, y'all. The YouTube link is in the bio on Instagram. At Snoop B Knowing on Instagram. At Snoop B Knowing on YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube, y'all. And we'll be back next week with episode 32. Appreciate y'all. Good night.